stereotypes have you heard about new immigrants from your home country? Oh, okay. What stereotypes?
Stereotypes.
Oh, you mean how Singaporeans stereotype us? I see. Nothing much.
They are dirtier?
Yeah, they're not very considerate.
Okay, let's start from appearance. Appearance, we'll start from this. Yeah.
They're really loud on the phones.
Yes, they're very loud.
They're really loud on the phones.
Yeah.
A lot of people would ask like, "Hey, y'all from Africa, y'all are runners, right? Y'all like to run, right?" And then I always have to disappoint them like, sorry, I don't run. I'm like, the only running I do is for my bus.
I had one person who asked me where I was from, Tanzania. Okay, then asked me, wow, do you eat spiders for lunch? Then I was just like,
你有吃 dog 吗? All these kind of questions. You eat cats or not? Huh?
What's your name? Oh, I'm Kyung Hoon. Where are you from? I'm from Korea. Really? Hey, don't bluff lah. Of course, in my mind, then what you asked me for, I told you already. Why are you still asking me like where am I from? So, okay, sorry, I'm getting worked up.
Africa is a developing place. I mean, it's not developed per se like Singapore, but as much as we are developing, we're not thousands of years behind. Obviously, we have internet. I mean, there's proper housing and everything. We're still catching up to the world moves quite fast.
26 years ago, my dad actually decided to move over here to look for a job and then to really build a life for us in Singapore.
First of all, that time in 1999, the universities in Myanmar are closed. No political stability. And then my parents sent me here to study.
Initially, I intend to study nursing in Singapore. It is safe, which was very important for me.
I came here because my dad was doing business here. He thought this might be a better place for me to study.
My mom got scouted by this gallery owner from Singapore because my mom is a portrait painter. And then she told the employer that, oh, if I come to Singapore, then you must bring my husband and kid over also. So we came over here after half a year.
Initially, he was an architect in Hyundai company. Hyundai or Hyundai, we call it Hyundai. Yeah, but many people think it's Hyundai, but no one dies. And his project was to build part of Suntec. Back in 1993, when that decision was made, the whole family moved to Singapore in that year.
Actually, when I heard the stereotypes about China people, like whether we are dirty or whether we eat exotic animals and all that, I can understand how it come about. I mean, definitely something must have happened, or you see enough people do it, then you're like, oh yeah, that's what they are.
But I do know, my grandma shared with me, she ate rats. Last time.
The best.
And cats also. Ooh. Yeah. So, but that's because last time during the Cultural Revolution, right? Then she got nothing to eat. But the younger generation, at least my friends, my circle, right? We never like that kind of delicacy. Yeah. We have our own local delicacy, normal food.
Yeah.
We don't let's go out to eat this wild animal this Saturday. Nobody does that here.
Generally, out there in the media or in the internet or the news or whatever, they don't really show the other side, let's say the business side, how business is growing there. So it's that's where they start to ask oh, how is it? Do you really see giraffes and everything? But as much as we hear that often, it's also I guess it's a chance for us also to kind of let them know how Africa really is.
I can change how you think, but if you say it to me with such angst and anger already, I don't think you're in the right state that I can bring up my opinion to change it. Yeah. There's no point arguing who wins.
What challenges did you face in the new environment? I came with a bunch of friends who also came here to study in Poly. Pretty lonely because this is the first time I have ever been separated from the parents. And I miss the food also because my mom used to cook at home and the taste is pretty different. So I miss the food, I miss the home, I miss the family.
So I came here when I was 12, right? Just like I told you. Then my mom came here with me. She was like, Peidu mama.
Oh.
She was like a Peidu.
That means she has to go back, right?
Yeah, that's why. So after JC, I finished my A-levels. Then she had to go back already. Actually, interestingly, right? When she first left,
do you feel relieved?
Yeah, you know, when you're young, right? You want to explore the world, right? Like freedom, oh my god, freedom. But then after a while, I think year 1, year 2, then you start to see on weekends, then your friends, they went back to their families. Yeah, and then you miss your mom a bit, you know. In my high school, there are groups of scholars, so-called, and people are kind of distant from them. They have their own cliques, they have their own groups, and they don't mix with the locals. Actually, I'm friends with some of them also, we're quite close. They're really nice people also, but it's a bit hard for them to step out of their comfort zone because they already had this group, right, where everybody's from the same background, so it's easier to bond with them.
My schedule is always full, working schedule and also that studying. My parents give me this opportunity, it's just once, so I cannot fail. That's why I work hard and I study hard.
So did our partners mind us being being from China?
What did you experience?
For me, I guess I learned it the hard way in my first relationship. Because my first boyfriend, he didn't like that I spoke in China accent. Yeah, then I'm like, but that's where I'm born in. So then that eventually caused the breakup.
I remember one incident, right, when I was in Sec 2. Then got these few girls, right, they came and talked to me and said, hey, I think my friend like you. You know, you always do that, right? Like, my friend like you.
Girls will also go towards you in a group.
Then we chat for a while. Then they found out I'm from China. Then they stopped talking to me already.
Oh no!
I have a few incidents like that, you know. So it really hurt my feelings back then when I was young. So I got this inferior complex when I was young.
And then they went on like, wow, so you kimchi lah. Every day I call you kimchi boy. Hey kimchi boy, hey kimchi boy. It's always kimchi boy. I was really offended. Like, I mean, who are you to talk about my country food and just label me as kimchi boy? I'm Kyung Hoon. Don't call me kimchi boy. I took more offense in people talking about my country or my family than me. The patriotism is very strong. It's actually insane. Yeah. Because of long history and how the country suffered together, it really kept building the national pride and loyalty together. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but back in my school days here, I've never heard parents telling the kids, like, you know, these things you must do for Singapore. Okay, no, it's always you must do this for yourself and for parents. You must study well, must do well, so that, you know, next time parents will be proud of you. Yeah, but for me it was more like behave yourself because you represent me, the parents, and of course how Koreans are. Because of you, people will think Koreans will be like that. Yeah, I was scolded like that before.
You realize that, if you speak differently or if you behave differently, you get ostracized. Yeah, definitely, to a certain level. So then we learn to blend in and do what others do.
Yeah, I think partly because I came here when I was young. I don't really have a national pride.
What's it called? Patriotism.
Yeah, patriotism. So I didn't feel the need to defend myself. And also, most importantly, because I didn't do it. Like, I'm not the subject of the stereotypes. So if I had to, I'd probably do that for the rest of my life, and I couldn't convince everybody also.
Yeah.
There was once I was late for school. Then I remember she was not very happy, and then she was saying, we are paying the taxes for you guys to, like foreigners, for you to come in to study, and then and your parents are not doing anything. Why are you late? Why are you disrespecting it like that? So I was just very shocked. I was like, what do you mean? My parents pay school fees too?
There was a student in my class who was like getting scolded for the wrong reason, like for something he didn't do. So in a sense, I kind of stood up for my friend, and like it went back and forth within me and my teacher and everything. And then after that, she suddenly just outburst and said, I don't like you people and your culture because you're all so rude and all that. That kind of comment is kind of like in no situation is appropriate. Like that one person's actions doesn't represent the entirety of, you know, their whole country or their whole race and everything. It was a moment of also realizing that how would I react to that situation? Because this thing I learned back in church, which is called, you should do what is right and not what is easy. So it's in that moments where I realized, I have to, as much as whatever the repercussions is, I'm just gonna stick to my guns and just do what's right instead of worrying what everyone else is gonna think of me for doing that. Yeah.
If you convert citizenship, are you betraying your homeland? No. I mean, to be fair, I think there are some folks out there who think changing citizenship or revoking own country's citizenship is already a big betrayal. But I think, nope. Like, just having that title is not a betrayal. Yeah, it's about what you do. I think it's the content that counts, and not just the name.
For now, it's not betraying. I give up the citizenship, return the citizenship to them, and gain the Singapore citizenship. So it's just a formal, official way of changing the citizenship. So nothing to do with betrayal for me.
In a sense, when you're a citizen, you kind of secure your place that, yes, this is really my home, this is where I want to be in. I think because for now, like now we're PRs, so whenever we go overseas with friends or whatever, there's always that we have to preempt our friends like, okay, customs may take a bit longer for us because we're not holding normal passports. You grew up with all your Singaporean friends, but yet, like when you go out, it's kind of like you're treated as someone who, is from a completely different nation and is like no ties to them, that kind of thing.
I converted already. So I recently converted in, I think, beginning of this year also.
So do you feel
do I
you're
feel like I'm betraying my homeland? I mean, oddly enough, yeah.
Really?
Like a tiny bit of me is like, but does that mean I'm throwing away the China part of myself? Like, by giving up the citizenship, does that mean that when I go back to China, I'm officially like a foreigner to them already?
For me, I'm teaching Korean language. In no right state of mind, I wouldn't think like I'm betraying my country. I'm actually helping my country to spread the language and culture. So when the K-wave started flooding Singapore, a lot of influence started happening, even from dress code to the makeup. It also raised a lot of standards of beauty and the perfect oppa. I mean, over the years, the level of the Korean drama oppas, the standards keep increasing. It goes down to tying shoelaces, sending hearts. Yeah, please don't judge me. I tried it before and important line here is expectations lead to disappointment. But I mean, if you ask me now, I'm still proud of it. Korea, the influence so strong, and it stayed for so long. Yeah.
So I still do take influence from the African side. So it's not like I'm abandoning that part of my culture and totally adopting into Singaporean culture. I must be this way as a Singaporean, but it's kind of like a blend of both. Let's say in terms of dressing up, and I used to wrap my head in a lot of different scarves last time. So I do in that side of me, I do identify with a bit more of the African influence. Yeah, but I think in terms of other aspects of my life, then it's more Singapore.
You still love your homeland. You still can contribute in terms of education, the children's education in Myanmar. So we are supporting, I'm supporting. So we both are incomes, and whatever we are supporting their children's education, and also that on any other charitable organizations in Myanmar. Yeah, we are supporting.
And we still love our people. They are still our people, although their citizenship status is different.
Which country do you identify with really?
Well, this is hard. Yeah.
I feel like I'm half. Yeah, because half my childhood was in China, and then half my childhood was in Singapore. I don't feel like I'm entirely Singaporean, because I still have that part of me that is Chinese, Chinese, right? But then when I go back to China, I don't feel like I'm connected to them anymore. I don't feel like I'm related to them anymore because of how fast they have changed and how fast they have developed. So I feel like the China in my heart is the olden China.
If you want me to go back to China, I'll have a culture shock. But then the roots will forever be there. Even if I've been staying here for many, many years, have my family here, but the roots will still be there. Yeah.
Okay, I always identify myself by race. but I think if it boils down to like home, where I call it home, I'll call it here, because here is where I grew up. Yeah. If I go overseas, other countries, if people ask me where I'm from, I will always tell them I am a Korean living in Singapore. Yeah.
For me, I guess it would be Singapore. I mean, as much as I'm an African on the outside, and genetically, I guess, but my whole life is here. Like, I grew up here. I'm serving NS, defending the nation also as well. A lot of people ask me, oh, actually, why do you go for NS? As in, I have to serve my obligations. I mean, it's a requirement for us to serve NS. And it's a country I grew up in, so I mean, why not? Like, it's a no-brainer decision for me.
So, I mean, I do get a lot of questions, not only this, like, to the extreme extent, oh, you know, next time South Korea and Singapore get into war, how? You protect who? My number one answer is, I will protect wherever my family is. Yeah, because I think it's my family and loved ones are whom that makes home to me, the environment.
I think also for myself, because I have a Singaporean boyfriend, right? So it's a bit hard for me if I say bye and I go back to Africa. And so it's gonna be quite tough if that were to happen. I think going through the stages of, BTO, and then, I think if I'm thinking of BTO, right, I'm gonna stay in Singapore. Yeah.
And now Myanmar is like our parents who give birth to us, and Singapore is the one adopted us.
It's very hard because in my eye, it's really fighting Singaporean and Myanmar fighting. So it's very difficult. I love both. Yeah.
Sometimes I go see some ceremonies, and Singapore national anthem plays at the beginning of the ceremony. Then I do really feel something in my heart. Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, cool, National Day, cool. Then we just watch the parade and everything. My mom would try to ballot for tickets.
My mom loves to watch National Day parades.
Yeah.
She watches it every year.
Yeah. Yeah, ever since she went that one time, she's like, I want to go like again and again. Like, it's a day where, you celebrate your nation's independence. So considering that we consider Singapore our home, that's where we also celebrate with the country as well. Yeah.
There's definitely times during our growth that we felt inferior for being China because of what some Chinese people did. But I can't change where I was born.
Exactly.
So even though I feel Singaporean, but I'm still proud of being from China.
Yeah. There's something in your life, not just nationality, right? Something you can't change, right? But if it's something I cannot control, why not feel proud of it, right?
Yeah.
You should be proud of that, Yeah, and I got to see different culture. I know the best people in both countries. So really thankful.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we did talking to our profiles. In today's society where we see xenophobic comments, immigrants' attempt to connect with their language, culture and home country might sometimes result in misunderstandings. So the next time before you pass any judgment, take some time, sit down with a new immigrant and hear them out. Because maybe a bit of empathy and perspective is what we all need. If you enjoyed this series, you can watch more Can Ask Matt episodes on our playlist over here. Click on the notification bell below to get notified about our latest released episodes. Bye!